Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we will be looking at Golden Prussia. This is going to be an AI only video. We are going to try to do a couple of these a week. And we have Prussia, which is super buff. I will actually let you know what we did to see how well this Prussian did. We have development is 100 for every province they own. So they're at 100. As you can see, it is quite different from the rest of the map. They are super developed, so they're going to be making cash money. Their starting ruler has some of the best perks. They're greedy, temperate, calm, Midas touch, genius, and then 50 stats in everything. Prowess, everything. So their starting ruler is insane. And then I also gave them 70,000 gold. So we have a ton of buffs on Prussia. I don't know how it's going to work with 1.44 since this happened today, this update, but we're going to see how mega rich Prussia does, or we can call it Golden Prussia. We'll see how Golden Prussia does in this video. So let's get right into it. So my prediction is they're gonna make tons of money, especially with development, everything being 100. They're going to be super rich. And then also another thing is, since the development is so high here, we should see the development start spreading. So we actually might look at development a little bit more. I don't know how well they're going to conquer because they are the Vitalist religion, which is quite small. So this actually allows them maybe to do a ton of holy wars. So this actually could help them, but it could also maybe hurt them. So we'll see what they do. We're like 12 years in, and Prussia just took over Poland. So this is good. When we buff a nation, we want to see them do well. I don't know if this is too much too soon, but we'll see how Prussia does with this land. This is quite interesting. They might just go crazy. And if we can already see, it's only been 12 years into the game, but you can already see that the surrounding areas are actually already starting to become more developed. So it works quite fast when it's maxed out this much. But we also, we might have a super powerful Prussia. It's just whether or not they'll keep it all together or not. Sometimes the HRE inherits Hungary, but usually not less than 20 years into the game. So this might be a very powerful HRE. I have some doubts because empires have been doing pretty bad recently, but I like it. Prussia probably doesn't like it, but I like it. Hopefully we see a powerful HRE because they usually do pretty bad. Don't get me started with these guys. They've already blown up a little bit. I don't understand. Please Paradox, fix these guys. They're supposed to do pretty good in this time period and they always just fall apart. Fix them, please. I'm gonna come back probably in like 10 minutes and they're gonna be even worse looking. Everything I said about Prussia's religion, pretend like you didn't hear it. They converted to being Catholic, so it really doesn't matter about the religion anymore. So yep, I'm glad I spent about like 30 seconds talking about that. Okay, England, what's going on? You need to tell me what's going on. This is a peasant rebellion. I don't know why England keeps on losing to peasant rebellions, but now there is a peasant leader here. This is like kind of like the 4th time I've seen this. It's happened in like a playthrough, it's happened through some games. I don't know why England sucks. Maybe Scotland can take advantage and take over all these guys, but now England is pretty much lost and the British Isles will do nothing this game. Prussia, still doing great. Hopefully they can keep on expanding. When their ruler dies though, I am quite in fear that their nation will split apart because I really buffed the first nation and I don't know how much will happen after this first ruler. So we'll see. The Byzantines has lost some land. I don't know why I said it like that, but they've lost some land and I am quite excited. I have a really big hate relationship with the Byzantines. I love the Byzantines historically, but this game makes me hate them because they're super powerful. And it's actually nice to see that they're losing some land already. That happened in the last video I did, and they also still won the game. So don't keep your hopes up, guys. Also, the Seleucid Empire, yeah, they blew up like I thought they would. I don't know why these guys are purple, but it's kind of cool. Makes them look a little different. Yeah, but they have blown up, so that means anyone around here can eat up all this land, and they need to fix this immediately. Like, come on, Paradox, this is probably the biggest like non-bug issue. This empire should actually stay together, but they literally blow up every time. So please fix. Prussia is now going into the Baltic states, and I'm actually quite excited. They're doing quite well. I would love for Golden Prussia just to eat everything up. I'm afraid that they will fall apart at some point, but you know, I think at least there will be at least a powerful nation that will come out of this nation, because the development here is expanding rapidly. You can see some of the places nearby are getting close to the hundreds already, so it's going to be quite interesting to see how well the nations do over here. Well, Golden Prussia is not not golden anymore. They formed an empire. Well, I'm quite happy that they formed an empire. I'm a little sad though that they're not golden anymore, but it is what it is. They have an empire, and let's see if they can spread the world with their empire, you know, spread everything. I don't know why I said spread the world. You know what I mean. However, to make it easier, I renamed them the Prussian Empire. So at least we know who this nation still is. This is the Prussian Empire. They are now Catholic and Prussian. And I'm going to be honest, AI is pretty bad at forming empires. So it's good to see that the buffs at least were able to achieve that. I don't know what happened. I'm going to be honest, guys. I was chilling here. I was watching a YouTube video for a second, had the game playing. I don't know. The Prussian Empire just inherited all the HRE. Yeah, so maybe this game will be a little different than I thought. So I don't know if they're going to keep this. It's quite interesting. They inherited it all. It wasn't a war. It was inheritance. Yeah, so the Prussian Empire is now definitely the most powerful nation in the game by far, because they are like two empires. So we'll see if they stay together. I doubt it, but if they do, everyone better run for their lives, because this is insane. The only thing that I am worried about is that they are all Catholic, so there's a chance that this nation could stay together. But I have no idea what happened. It literally just, yeah, I didn't see this coming at all. Well, never mind. It already blew up. It literally, I pressed play and it blew up immediately. So yeah, it's completely blown up. But however, with this, the Prussian Empire was able to pick up some territory. They have territory all over the place, and they were able to get hungry. So no matter what, this was actually really good for the Prussian Empire. This is still going to make them super powerful. They got land, they got Hungary, they got parts of Italy, they got some land over here as well. So I think this is only going to help them, but I still, now it's just border war. Not that bad. Not like this border war. This is like, please, like, let's cry a river. This is the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. This is more like, oh, this is bad, but not that bad. Okay, the Prussian Empire's united once again. They took HRE. I think they should have this for a while. I think the ruler is quite young, 32. So let's see how much they can expand with this Prussian Empire before it blows up again. Maybe next time I won't announce if it blows up because of someone dying, but it is quite scary. It is actually probably like an eighth of the map right now. It has a lot of the powerful counties in the world, so we'll see what happens. I don't know what's happening, but there's a chance we will see another empire form. As you can see, Novgorod is looking quite good. They're Orthodox and Russian, and most of this territory here is Orthodox and Russian, so they probably will be able to keep this quite easily. And that's pretty close to the Russian Empire, so we might see Russia in this game. I don't know if I've ever seen Russia form, so if Russia forms, this will be quite an interesting video. And there should be no effects on the buffs I gave to Prussia. So I would actually be quite concerned if this happens. Actually, I would be not concerned, I'd be super happy. This amazing. Russia being great. Hopefully Prussia is able to keep it up. They're still expanding. They're going after Denmark and some other nations. I think they will just keep on expanding. But the problem is this Prussian Empire might kill Novgorod. So that is the biggest fear for me. The Prussian Empire is like in, I don't know what is their logic. For some reason, they have all these neighbors they can declare war on, right? Yeah, they go for some place in Iberia. I don't know why. They decided that this would be the best spot to take. Literally, there are Italy, Savoy, France, Italy, Croatia, Byzantines even. But no, they decide to go for a territory over here. You know what? You guys are ruling the world. You do whatever you want. Don't ask me. Well, we're seeing the collapse of like every major nation really right now. The Byzantines are starting to collapse. Novgorod is starting to collapse. The British Isles are starting to collapse even more, even though they were. France is doing okay, but then Iberia is doing really bad too. Prussia's still expanding. They're doing great, but a lot of their neighbors are becoming extremely weak, so they might be able to expand even faster than I thought they would be able to. Well, the Mongol horde is here. I don't expect them to do too well. There's usually much better when there's larger nations here, and there's not a lot of large nations, so they declare too many wars and lose most of them. I would love to see them do good, but I just don't think it's possible with no large nations near them. The largest nation is this nation, and they're not even close to them. The Prussian Empire and the HRE have split up once again, and that's because of succession laws. They might come back, but even if they don't, I have to say in the northern area of the British Isles. It's been conquered, and most of Spain has been conquered by the Prussian empires, because these are pretty much Prussian Empire 1, Prussian Empire 2 at this point. I think they will reunite it at one point because Prussian Empire is way more powerful than the HRE, so it's just a matter of time the Prussian Empire takes it back. The Mongols didn't do anything like I thought, not surprised, but however, the Prussian Empire is looking really good. They do have some border war in the middle of them, but they'll probably solve that in no problem. I guess the buffs I did really did help them. If we take a look at development, you can see how much of an effect this is at in the game. The complete area over here is just like fully developed. It's just looking really good, and I know that's making the Prussian Empire, they're making cash, well, he died. They're making cash money at like 60 gold a month, and that's just for a new guy. So he's looking quite good. If you watch these videos and you ever wonder why I don't focus on like this side of the map ever, this is why. Nothing is like unified. It's all just a complete mess. Like there's nothing to talk about because it's just so destroyed. That's why I try to focus more on Europe. I think, to be honest, Paradox just needs to fix it. It used to be a lot better. Usually like the Middle East did some cool things. India used to do some cool things. Now it's literally just Europe. This is the only part of the game that actually like unifies and does anything. Every other part of the game just is Europe's game to play. But we might see Prussia actually unite Europe. And if they do, I'd be quite impressed because I've buffed nations before and I've never seen that happen. I think Prussia is going to do it. I think they're going to unite Europe. I think it's possible. They have now united their Iberian territory with their mainland territory. They have most of Italy. They're expanding deeply into Russia. They're about to go into Scandinavia. I think there's a chance, and like these guys in the British Isles are going to take it over. So hopefully we see them unite Europe, because this will be probably the first time I successfully buffed a nation. I'll be so proud of myself. It'll be great. Prussia is very close to forming all of Europe. Really, all they need is the British Isles, kill the last people in France, get Scandinavia, and they pretty much have most of Europe. I guess they still have to kill the Byzantines, but I don't know if that's going to happen. But they are looking quite well, and I think it's going to be an easy win. Now, it's just the matter, are they going to blow up with the last 100 years we have? That's the real question now. We may be looking at the beginning of the end. Prussia is starting to explode, and this is actually quite normal. Usually when a big empire like this forms, they cannot stay together. We have a couple of nations breaking out independence all throughout the land, and now there's another war for the Kingdom of France. So we will see if this is possible to keep this all together, or if they will crumble and fall. There's a little less than 100 years, and if Prussia doesn't explode, which they kind of are, I slowly see more nations popping up, but they're also really weak, so even Prussia's vassals can easily take them over. If they don't fall though, there is literally no one else that will even be remotely good. I don't know what the Byzantines have been doing this campaign, but they are doing awful. They lost a big chunk of land to Georgia. They haven't expanded into the Middle East. No one else is doing any good. This is absolute garbage. We're like 100 years, less than 100 years away, and every nation besides the Prussian Empire looks horrible. So it might just be either the Prussian Empire or something that breaks apart from Prussia, because these Byzantines are pathetic. They just got 16,000 troops. This is the weakest I've ever seen the Byzantines this early on. Like they collapse usually eventually, but no, they're looking quite bad. So I wanted to see how it looked when a country this size was at war with a nation so small, and oh my goodness, they literally have like a soldier in almost every county. It's insane. This is hilarious, and I see why they're destroying everyone, because just look at this. This is terrifying. Well, we're gold again, so that's good. So unfortunately, what's it called? The person is Castilian, and since they're Castilian, they're now Hispania. So this is the Hispania-Prussian Empire, I guess? Yeah, well, at least they're gold, so the title kind of makes sense at least. Yeah. Hispania isn't doing as good as the Prussian Empire, was. They're doing okay. They're losing some territory, but they're keeping it mostly together. And as long as they can stabilize the nation, I think they can take a lot of it back. So I think we should be fine. And still, there's not any nation doing anything besides Hispania. Literally, I could like cut it to like this and like not even worry about. There's practically not even a different game. I'm just watching Hispania fall apart and come back up. That's all this is for the last like 40 years. There's less than 20 years for the end of the game, and I think we're gonna blow up right at the end. Norway got their independence, some other places got their independence in France, and a big chunk is about to blow up. So I really hope they don't blow up right here at the end, but I'm pretty sure they're going to, and I'm going to be pretty sad. We're at the end, and that's the video. See you later, guys. Bye. I did that for your own safety, your own eyes. That's not the end of the video. Yeah, it happened. It happened. I could cry. This is literally the most disgusting border gore I've ever seen. I'm trying to produce tears on how ugly this is. They did so good. So good. So good. And it's all collapsed. This is probably the worst border gore I've ever seen in Ck3. No joke, no cap. This is disgusting. But we're at the end date. Let's go ahead and look at religion, culture, see if anything weird's happen. Catholicism is doing great because of the empire. Nothing weird going on over here. Culture, the Prussian culture expanded a little bit, but really nothing super weird with culture. I gotta say though, this Novgorod is looking pretty good. They are Prussian, so I think this might be the empire that starts to take everything over if we were to continue. But I can't suffer through this anymore because this is the most disgusting thing ever. Look at this HRE. This HRE is disgusting. This Lithuania, disgusting. Everything is disgusting. Byzantines, pathetic still. But that's gonna be it for the end of this video. Let's check the development before we go, and like you can see that it just was amazing over here the entire time. I kept an eye on it, and it's just spread development all around this area. Usually this area is completely dead at this point. It kind of looks like this over here in like Russian territory, but it looks fantastic here in the middle of Europe. So yeah. That's the end of this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm gonna go cry now because I went through 10 hours of recording and now we're to this point. So thank you for watching this video. If you would like to see more AI only videos like the Drew Durnil Style videos, make sure to like. Let's try to get to 100 likes on this video. See you later. Bye. Have a good one.